Making meaning out of social studies curriculums, measuring authentic learning in a high school social studies classroom with Michael McCabe. The primary purpose of social studies is to help young people make informed and reasoned decisions for public good as citizens of a culturally diverse, democratic society in an interdependent world. However, how do we know whether or not our students are capable of making such decisions when they leave our classroom? The purpose of this study was to analyze the efficacy of performance assessments in measuring the authentic results desired from the National Social Studies Standards. Northern Highlands High School is a single schoolhouse district containing 1,303 students, grades 9 through 12, with 127 faculty members. The majority of the population comes from 5 towns: Allendale, Upper Saddle Room, Ho-Hocus, Saddle Room, and tuition students. Research questions for this study consisted of, as a department, what are the most common forms of assessment implemented, and what do the results of those assessments indicate about student learning? Are performance tasks the best tool to measure authentic learning outcomes in high school history classrooms? Do performance tasks lead to higher levels of student engagement and therefore higher levels of student achievement? I measured these questions through a variety of means of data collection: teacher surveys, focus groups, archival data, which included collecting exemplars as stated by teachers, personal artifacts from performance assessments used in my classroom this year, and student interviews. The research participants were from 3 U.S. History 1 courses containing 71 sophomores. The courses were an inclusive classroom with 30 IEP-driven or 504-driven students. The findings. As for type of assessment, history teachers emphasize the importance of civic activism in their class as a key learning objective consistently across the board. However, they were unaware on how to assess that. 78% of these students or these teachers' exemplars consisted of multiple choice objective questions that were incapable of measuring true deep learning. 95% of the students remembered very little from their world history class in freshman year, attributing their assessments to cram sessions, not really indicating very long endurance of learning. Were performance tasks the most appropriate tool? Teachers universally believe that performance assessments would be the best tool to measure authentic learning goals when a performance task was explained to them. 100% of teachers could not accurately describe a performance assessment prior to the researcher describing what a performance assessment was. 78% of students believed performance tasks were a more appropriate tool to measure their learning. 95% of students were extremely engaged with the performance assessments they took this year. 75% of those students registered the same level of engagement with traditional forms assessment the year prior. As a result of these findings, there are 2 main recommendations I have for the district. Number 1, professional development needs to be created in order for teachers to learn about a variety of assessments that can measure student growth across a variety of different learning levels. Additionally, a professional learning community must be created with the willing to study the efficacy of assessments across multiple subject areas beyond history. If this is going to be a district-wide initiative, it is important that the evidence be proven in more than history in order to effectively implement this district goal. Thank you.